Greetings, ghouls. You're listening to the Groovy Ghoul podcast with your host, Groovy Witch 666, and tonight's special guest, Director Jason Lei Howden. Enjoy.
You still there?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know if you heard me. I was like, oh shit, I thought I hung up. All my stuff is like acting so schizo. I don't know if it's because of the full moon thing or what, but like my phone, my internet, like everything is acting crazy.
Oh, bugger.
So I'm like very excited. Like, you are like, oh man, from like New Zealand. That's like my favorite film ever was made there. So like, The Frighteners.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that was filmed in this town as well, in Wellington. We filmed in like the same, part of it was filmed in like this old haunted nunnery, which I think they've pulled down now. And I shot a short film in there, like this is after The Frighteners, and it was a fantastic place, but like genuinely haunted. Like I left my production designer in there, and he like, I went back and he was just standing outside. I'm like, why aren't you inside sitting up? And he's like, dude, I don't know what he saw, but he was just too freaked out to even be it. This is daylight as well, so.
That's awful. That and like, well, over here, I don't know why they renamed it Dead Alive Brain Damage. Fucking love that. Was that filmed near you?
Oh, so I'm just, are you getting the interference?
It was Brain Damage, right, over there?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of interference in the call. Yeah, Brain Dead here.
Brain Dead.
Yeah.
I don't know why they renamed it over here. It's like weird.
I think there's this other film called Brain Dead, which I haven't seen, maybe. But yeah, it's yeah, one of my favorite films. I
fucking love that.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Oh yeah. Am I choppy?
Yeah, it sort of keeps cutting off or something.
You come in perfect. You're like, you come in better than anyone I've done so far, because all the other episodes I've
like
done,
halfway around the world.
They sound like they're way across the world, but you sound like you're like right next door. It's perfect.
Yeah, Brain Dead's fantastic. Oh, it's so weird. Like, again, this weird interference. Maybe I should just try and call back quickly. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's so weird.
Yeah,
okay.
It's just like static, just booms. We'll see if that fixes it. Sorry.
No problem. Okay.
Cool. I'll call back in a sec.
Sweet. Okay. Is it still staticky or?
Yeah, no, it's like hard to grab like this just weird sort of static popping in. Yeah.
It's still too. Can you?
Yeah. It's weird that I don't.
Oh, now I can hear it.
I just hope it's not on the recording.
Do you want to still try to see if we can do it, or do you want me to try back some other time, or?
Yeah, I mean, up to you. I mean, it's a bit hard. I can't really hear a lot of what you're saying, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe we could try another time and see. Yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, it's really intermittent and crazy. It's like someone's bugged the phone or something. Like it's just you can sort of hear something tapping. I don't know.
Oh, that's so weird. Yeah, I didn't hear anything the first time, and this time it just sounds like it's going in and out. That's so weird. don't have it tapping though. That's
Um,
creepy. Okay.
yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm
No,
not sure what else to do.
yeah,
I bet it's, yeah, it seems to go away and it's like, uh,
that's not going away. So.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Uh,
I'm so sorry
um,
about that. I don't. That's so crazy. I haven't had that yet. So I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, not sure. Like, yeah. Let me know if you can. Maybe you can come up with an alternative and
Yeah, I'll try to
like,
see if I can
yeah,
try something else. That's
yeah,
crazy.
totally. But yeah, oh, that's a shame. I'm real keen to chat. I just been listening to the other the podcasts and yeah, fantastic. So cool.
Oh, we can say it. Yeah, that was crazy because like I actually wasn't trying to do one. It just happened. I was like doing this online magazine thing for fun, and I would interview mostly music people, sometimes film like Lloyd and do you know Joe Bob Briggs and that? But then Josh is like,
Yeah,
no, 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 no. Josh was like, no, we gotta. You'd only do it on the phone. So I'm like, like I don't know. The phone was like a big thing with me and my anxiety. So I was like, fuck. And then I was like, and then like everybody kept saying
yeah.
yes. I couldn't believe the people saying yes, and I was like, oh, okay. So,
No,
but yeah.
Job was fantastic. So yeah, I love that his show's back. Man, it's so good.
Yeah. All right. I'll
um,
try to figure out some other way to try to call. Hopefully that will not be all choppy or whatever it's doing.
yeah. No, totally. Let
Sorry.
me know. Like, definitely free over the next few weeks, and yeah. But yeah, keep in touch. Keep to chat.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for like even saying you do this and calling. That's like crazy because I'm a huge fan. I love Deathgasm, like Zombie Dicks. I just watched it fairly recently yet again because Joe Bob had it on his marathon. So
I
like,
know.
and
It's
Guns
that
and
was crazy.
yeah, it's like I fucking love that movie. I love horror, comedy horror.
Yeah,
Like, and the zombies
yeah.
and the dicks. That's just fucking. It's like totally my sense of humor. So fucking love that
There
movie.
were so many people saw it because of the Joe Bob show. Like I didn't even know it was on. Then suddenly, like people like the the angry video game nerds. Like
Yeah,
he saw it. He's like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm like a massive fan of his. So yeah, it was just so cool how many more people just checked it out. Because so many movies come out these days.
Oh yeah.
I can't even catch up. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's just like totally our kind of audience as well.
yeah. It's fun. He doesn't really do online though. He has someone else that works for him, like interact when it's live. But one of his
That's right.
the beginning ones, he did like a well, I say 48 hours, but he corrected me on that, and I can't remember exactly. It's a little bit more than that because he talked so much, so it went longer. But
Yeah.
it was live, and it was insane. He had like these Japanese ones that were crazy. They were subtitled. They were like insane, and like all these crazy ones. I was like, now I think
Yeah.
they just show like 3 at a time, but they're just like some more obscure movies and I don't know, fun movies.
Yeah. Totally.
I love
Yeah.
his tallies at the beginning. It's fucking hilarious. Like how many
Yeah.
boobs, how many like whatever, all this like crazy thing. And his rants are
It's cool.
funny. I like when he's angry
Yeah.
and just goes on like these like rants that and they just go every which way. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah. That's the best. But just he's so knowledgeable as well that like,
Yeah.
and some of the films he takes the piss out of I like, but I still love hearing him talk about them and it's just great. There's a massive community behind it now as well. Like like a big everyone's watching them at the same time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have Shudder here, so I'm yeah like missed but yeah that's the only problem. I think there's some weird thing with Shudder here,
Oh.
but hopefully I'll get it soon.
You can't like just you can't download it to like a computer or a laptop and watch it there.
I have done. I had some because I couldn't. I couldn't watch the Deathgasm episode, so I got some guy to like rip them to me and give them to me, which was nice
Oh.
enough to do. Not that I'm like saying, not that I'm advocating piracy or
Oh
anything,
yeah, no,
but
I get yeah.
it's like
Oh, I like
it's like well, I can't do it any other way. So
a lot of there's quite a few people that work for like the Joe Bob show. Oh my God, that's not what they call it. My mind is going blank. But like they also work for Trauma and Lloyd. There's a few of them that like they work for both. And that's another good like community too, like the Trauma people. That help.
I've been a fan. I think that's yeah. I think that's like where I started following you on. I think maybe Twitter first. It's because like you were saying stuff about Trauma. I think that
Yeah.
yeah. I remember you're like a Trauma fan, and then yeah.
Yeah,
It was,
I met Lloyd a while back, and he was a really big fan, and he wanted me to like. He's really like encouraging me to like come there and like audition for Shakespeare shitstorm and all that, but I couldn't do it at the time. He's just been really supportive and with me writing and get my books and stuff. And it's just like really like just a really good community, and I'm stoked because they're remaking Toxic Avenger. So I'm like,
yeah, that's crazy, right?
About that. I love that movie. The original is like,
oh man,
awesome.
For me, when I was a kid, I was like, it was always the Trauma. I had to watch all the Trauma films, and you know, just yeah, amazing.
I love them. Like I remember watching them. And, like my mom thought I was so disturbed because you know they're weird and she's so uptight. But I mean, but it's awesome because he's like a monster, but he's like a good guy. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Fucking that movie's awesome.
It wasn't he like the first New Jersey's first superhero or something they called him? Like,
yeah.
Fantastic.
Pretty much.
And the second one, that fight scene on the start of the second one, I think it's the second one's the one where he like goes to Japan to find his dad, eh? I think. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much. They were just such a big inspiration, and I think they were inspiration to Peter Jackson as well. Like, I think he was a fan. Like, there's like a few Trauma references in his films.
Yeah, I like how like I love with Dead Alive, like how like all the gory stuff is fake, but it works. Like usually, I mean, it's very rare for it to work. And I still like when they're eating the soup, like when the ladies came, but the mom was sick, and then the son tried to get everything together, and then her ear falls off in the soup, and the guy eats it. Like I barfed the first time I saw it, even though it looks like it's fake, but I still like threw up.
It's
like,
so
I
good.
love it. And some of the stuff looks fake, but like I remember I saw a clip from the Shakespeare shitstorm, which I don't think is quite out yet, but there's like behind the scenes stuff. And there's a pool, like a kid pool with like shit in it. Not real shit, but it looks so real. And they're shoving the girl's face in it, and I just like threw up because it looks so real.
Oh my god!
But I know it's fake,
amazing.
and then when you see it on the whole, you can tell it's fake, but it's still like it's done so well.
Oh, that's so good.
Like,
yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing with Deathgasm, because I was working on the Hobbit movies before I did Deathgasm, and like I sort of quit the third Hobbit movie to just as a VFX artist. So I quit the third Hobbit movie to do Deathgasm, and yeah, my thing was like we were doing the stuff that was like quote unquote like realistic, you know.
oh wow.
But like I just oh, no, I'm just gonna put this person. For me, it was just like I just wanted to get back and start making like the movies that I loved as a kid, you know, those sort of movies, and you know, I knew that the gore was going to look hokey and fake, but it was just it was sort of the opposite of what we were doing on The Hobbit.
Yeah, but if it's done right, it works. Sometimes it's like, oh god, no, but like in Deathgasm, you know, like the zombie's dick, you know, it's fake, but like it also is like, whoa, and it kind of seems real, but it's like I love that stuff.
Well, I think it's great for comedy as well, because it's like you've got the excuse that it's a comedy, it's silly, so you can get away with a lot more. Like if we were trying to do something.
I wish it was more like comedy horror and like, cause I'm sick, like I'm sarcastic, I have a dry, dark sense of humor, so I like dark comedy. And like, oh wait, speaking of that, have you seen Toast of London? The show.
What was that again?
Toast of London.
No.
Oh, it has from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, Clement? Yeah. Oh, great. I love him.
It is fucking hilarious. It's dry. It's London. Oh, Matt Berry, isn't it? You know Matt Berry?
Oh, fantastic.
It's just it's hilarious, and it's like the London kind of humor. It was on Netflix, but they ended abruptly. I've read different stuff.
Really?
I don't know what's true. I don't know. I thought I read it was money issues, but now I read they're doing they're gonna start again. Like, but they're putting it in Tinseltown. But it's like London humor. It's I don't know. Anyways, I think it's hilarious. It doesn't get enough attention. It needs more.
Yeah, no.
Attention.
Because Matt Berry was the guy from what was that show? Gus Marenghi's Dark Place.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
It's that guy. It's that guy, but he's heavier in it.
Yeah. Oh man, so I love that show, like that sort of making fun of like the Stephen King, Clive Barker sort of author, and yeah, man.
Oh, have you
good.
seen what is it called? I think it's called Kath and Kim. I think it takes place in Australia.
Yeah.
I just discovered it recently. I just discovered it, and I'm binging the fuck out of it, and it makes me laugh my ass off, but it also gives me a headache when the heavyset girl, the red hair, and then the daughter like argue. Oh my god! Sometimes I'm just like it gives me such a headache, and then when the mom is like, "Look at me, Kim," and she does that weird voice. I just
that was quite big here in New Zealand.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, that's amazing show. Like, I lived in Australia for a while, and some of those stereotypes are pretty spot on.
It's like there's some horrific stuff that happens, but then they joke about it, and I was like dark humor and cringeworthy stuff, and like it's fucking hilarious. I'm like, why am I just discovering this now? Because I think it was like, when was it? Was it like late 90s, early 2000s maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was like sort of early to late 2000s. It went for quite a while. I wasn't sure if it was big. It was quite big in New Zealand, but I wasn't sure if it traveled. You know, some Australian shows get really big in the UK, like I'm not sure how that sort of like stuff travels to America.
I just picked up on it recently because like I don't have cable, but I have like Netflix and Shudder, and I was just like searching for like dark comedies and British stuff, and I came across it, and I'm like, how the fuck isn't everybody talking about it? It's hilarious. That and have you heard of Sisters? It also I think is shot in Australia.
What's that?
Sisters.
No, I haven't seen that.
It's another fucking weird one because it has like it's funny, but it's like dark. It like has this like old man who's like about to die, and he ran a fertility clinic, and he's about to die, so he writes a letter to like the news or newspaper confessing what he did, and basically he took his sperm instead of using the sperm he was supposed to, and he got over 100 women pregnant. So he he lets this out because he thinks he's about to die within a couple of days. Then he ends up getting not dying, and then like all hell breaks loose, and then the girl that he raised, like her mom just died, so he waited till the mom died too before he said anything, and then so she's his daughter that he raised. Then she, like, is single, so she's out dating. And then she hooks up with this guy, and then she finds out it's her half-brother. And, like, it's just so fucking ridiculous, and all this, like, sick, twisted shit keeps happening, and it's just really fun.
And so that's
more sick twisted. Yeah, it's just, like, it's sick and twisted, and it's fucking hilarious, and no one seems to know about it.
No. Well, the thing is, there's just so much now as well. Like it used to be that everyone had, back in the 90s and 80s, everyone watched the same stuff, and now there's just so much content. I mean, I can't keep up. Like there's too many. It's great.
Yeah, there's too many streaming services. I'm like, I can't like get all of them. It's like insane.
No.
Fucking
No.
crazy.
No, I mean it's and I feel like sometimes Netflix and Amazon are kind of bad for horror. Like there's some good stuff, but especially old horror. I mean, I'm a big '80s horror fan, so
Me too.
I mean that.
I fucking love the '80s. Like, I mean, the Gremlins, Teen Wolf, but like all the '80s horror is horror because it's fun. It's silly. It's like silly comedy horror. I don't know.
Yeah,
the 70s.
exactly.
I like the '70s because they're extra sick and messed up too.
Yeah. 70s had some great stuff, and it was kind of really dark as well. Like they could go, that there was that like, the obviously stuff like The Exorcist, but then just like all the '70s exploitation stuff is just like. But then you're right. Like the '80s sort of like got a bit like goofier and fun, and that's kind of what I like as well.
Yeah, like Freddy Krueger. I mean, I wasn't scared by it because it was silly. It was silly fun to me. It was a little scary, but not like. Other ones. Like I hate all the torture ones and the torture, what they call torture porn ones or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I mean it's like it gets a bit much. I mean there were some good ones, but I don't know. Like I'm a bit the same. And
I don't like the realistic ones because I fucking won't sleep. I won't sleep for like weeks on end. So like anything too realistic, I'm like.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of struggle these days to find, because I mean, there's some great horror films as well that have been made now, but like not as much, like you said, fun horror. So whenever one comes out, it's fantastic. But yeah, it's
that's like like when like people ask my favorite horror movie, I'm always like The Frighteners, and they're like, no, that's not considered real horror. But like that to me, that's horror for me. That's the kind of horror I like. And like Deathgasm, like I like fun horror. And Freddy, silly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's great. I mean, those like it's I'm just like really close to where they made like films like Bad Taste and Brain Dead, like in Wellington. Like have you seen Bad Taste, the one with the aliens and it's very trauma. Bad Taste.
Oh, where is that?
So that was like Peter Jackson's first film, and it's like it's like aliens invade Earth, and there's this band of basically like nerds with guns that have to like try and save the day.
That was that other one that just reminded me of another. The Mars Attacks. Was it Mars Attacks? I can't remember the name of it.
Oh yeah. With the
like, a lot of people hated it, but I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
just like Young Frankenstein. Like that's like one of my favorite horror films is Young Frankenstein. Like I'm like Gene Wilder. Like,
phenomenal, and it looks so realistic as well. Like it feels just like one of the the early Frankenstein, Universal Frankenstein movies. Like the way it's shot and the sets and everything. Like they could have just done it cheaply, but they put the effort in and made it look really authentic, and then made it funny as hell.
Do you like have you seen Delicatessen? Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
That's another one.
A long time ago though.
I like that one, even though I'm like it's not as fun, but that one's really sick. I used to be like super into like realistic one and like the true crime stuff. I was like super obsessed with all true crime stuff until a bad experience recently. Like because I tried. Well, like I have a lot of pain. I'm dealing with some health issues, and where I live, I can't get like real pot like THC. I only can get like the CBD, which it doesn't really do anything. So I don't know if you know about Delta 8. Like THC is they call Delta 9, and then the Delta 8 thing. I don't know if you heard about that, but I mean I won't bore you with the differences. But so far is legal here, which they're making it illegal super fast in a lot of states here. It's so stupid. But so someone gave it to me, and it's supposed to really help with pain, and so like I'm in so much pain, so I tried it, and it took very little.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that was. So I tried it the next day because I was convinced. I'm like, okay, maybe that's just a bad reaction, and I very little, and it was so fucking bad. I'm still fucked up from it, and like I was watching this true crime thing, a really sick true crime thing, right before I took it, and oh my god, like the high was so bad, and I was so fucked up from that true crime thing I was watching right before, like when I took it. Like I don't ever want to watch any kind of true crime thing ever again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh no, I mean, I get like sometimes I get anxiety from it, and especially when I'm watching stuff like so. Yeah. I get really susceptible to like stuff like that. But yeah, I used to be sort of into it when I was younger, but like now I don't know. I think something changes. I just had a kid like a few years ago as well, so I think maybe it's a bit of a paternal instinct thing. But I find it harder to like watch really gritty stuff or like serial killer stuff or
Now I'm just like I'm a huge aversion like to it. I used to like love it, you know, like even like I can't remember what movie my friend just tried to get me to watch, and it was super graphic and like just gross, and I couldn't do it. Like it was just like a switch that was just like turned off. It was like so weird. But yeah, like that's what I appreciate with like your films. They're like fun. Like the fun like video game vibe, and then like the fun horror. That's like totally like my zone.
Yeah. No, I was in hospital recently, and just they was pumping me full of morphine. It was like it's just really weird. I was like, 1 minute I was on a bouncy castle with my son, and then like half an hour later I was in rushed to hospital with this kidney infection, and I just spent like a week in hospital just like pumped full of morphine, and all I did was basically watch older 80s horrors on my cell phone, and just so many. Like I think it was actually great. It was like a movie marathon. I shouldn't say that I had a great experience in hospital, but
are you okay now? Feeling better?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's just an age thing. Like I'd never even been in a hospital until I was like. As soon as I turned 40, it just went downhill. I'm not sure why. But, it's just weird. I just keep getting weird stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just the way it is, you know. But, I mean, I shouldn't really complain because we've got, like, really good, the healthcare system here is, like, free.
Yeah,
so
you guys are lucky.
Yeah.
I could move there or anywhere else on here.
Yeah, we've
I probably shouldn't say that, but I get yelled at every time I say something like if I like say like, you know, we're the only country that doesn't have universal health care, like people come after me. I'm like you can't have an opinion anymore. I'm like, eat a bag of dicks. I don't care, leave me alone.
Well, the weird thing here is, like, we've got great health care, but then if it's, like, dental care and mental health care is just bullshit. Like, we've got one of the highest, like, suicide rates and, so it's like, they care if it's, like, your body, but then if it's your mind or your teeth, they're like, nah, we don't give a shit.
Same here. Like, they say it's not taboo, but it still is, and it's not covered, and it's hard as fuck to find anywhere to go. And recently, like I've struggled with depression and anxiety since I was like my earliest memories, like 3. Like I didn't know the words then, but like and my parents don't believe in mental illness or depression. You're just lazy or whatever, and so like I never got help, and so it was getting really bad. I finally got in somewhere, and the fucking therapist tells me that depression is a choice. And then she wasn't believing me and stuff. And I just had a really bad experience of having very dark thoughts I'm like, I'm really in, like, I need help. And they're just like, they were so bad. And then, so I was just, and then I've had so many bad experiences. And it's, like, really hard to get in anywhere because, like, no insurances cover it. And then they'll, like, they want to see copies of all your financial stuff. And I'm like, just tell me how much it is, you know? And, like, cause I don't even know if I'm going to come back after the first visit, you know? But it's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's so bad.
And then it's on your chart. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Then they have it on your chart
I
for public. Like, if you go to your doctor, you have to go to the ER. They'll, like, they could see it. And then if you're on any medicine or if you went to a therapist, they're like, well, maybe nothing's wrong with you. Maybe it's, like, all in your head. It's like, I just don't think it should be linked. Like, I think it should be private and not, like, even your dentist, which is not covered over here either, can, like, see it. It's, like, weird.
Yeah.
Do they do that over there? Like, if you see, like, a...
Well, yeah. And I mean, like, it's, like, a few years ago, the government said they were going to give out, like, billions of dollars to the mental health system here. And, like, like, we have, like, a thing. I think America has the same where they have a budget. And then, like, they said, you're going to give, like, billions, like, is it $2 or $3 billion to mental health? And because we've got just such a massive problem here. And then, like, 2 years later, all they've done is, like, there's 5 more beds in a mental health unit. It's like all that money just went to, like, who takes that? I think that's just like
vacation
contractors.
For the people.
Yeah, exactly. It's an industry, you know. These people are making money off, like, people suffering. But to me, it's like it is physical because it's a chemical reaction in your brain. So I don't think it should be treated as like. It should be treated as like, it's all in your head because, like, it's our brains are physical. It's a chemical process that makes, you know, us depressed and anxious, and it's
and
just
like,
so weird that, like, if you've got a broken leg, everyone's like, you've got a broken leg, and if you're depressed, like,
cancer, it's the same as if you get cancer. It's like it needs to be treated as a medical issue, but I don't know about over there, but over here, they even, like, at the therapists, like the ones I've experienced, act like they don't. I don't know. It's like it's still kind of like a phobia. Like they act like, I don't know, mad at you and like don't believe you or something. I don't know. It's this like weird fucking thing, and then they make it hard to like for you to get help. Like even if you go to a therapist and I'm like, I just tried to kill myself, and like show them like the big mark around your neck or something, they will be like, no, you weren't serious. You weren't really trying, and just brush you off and not get you any medicine or not get you. And they're just like, depression is a choice. And I'm like, okay, so when I was 3 and wanted to go to sleep forever and die, that's a choice. Like, I was just like, I mean, there's so many shootings in this country, mass shootings, and like shootings every fucking day here that's so high. I'm like, okay, you might want to work on mental health programs here.
Like, I honestly think it's the biggest issue that we're facing, you know, in the world today. I think it's honestly probably it's bigger than coronavirus. It's like bigger than the environment. I think if we could solve mental health, I think all of that stuff could be solved as well. But it's like just people don't think our government, like with everything else, they're like, you know, they're dealing with they've dealt with coronavirus pretty well by just locking the borders and everything. But you know, it just seems like people don't want to deal with it because they don't understand it, or it's too hard, or I don't think anyone really knows the solution.
It's weird because like there's so many people, like there's a huge homeless population here, and most of those people are vets that served our fucking country and now get shit for it, and they're mentally ill people. And it's like, if they got the real kind of help, they could be functioning to, like, it'd be better for everybody, all of society. They'd be able to probably work and, like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think it's the biggest problem that, you know, university, I mean, because that sort of covers, to me, like addiction and violence as well. And you know, there's so much surrounding that is caused by, you know, mental health. And, so I mean, you know, I think in the short term at least, they need to spend money on counsellors and therapists.
they're not even trained well. Like in this country, it's ridiculous. You can't see a real psychiatrist or psychiatrist, sorry, and they're the only ones that can prescribe the head medicine. So like, it's really, really hard to get in with one of them. They send you to like shit therapists that like have barely any training, and then they decide if you need medicine, then you have to try to figure out where to go to get it because they can't prescribe it, and it's like this fucking waiting list for years to get in.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just such a fucking. I'm like, okay, so someone could probably kill themselves before they can get in.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I mean it's
frustrating.
It happens, and there's a comedian here called Mike King in New Zealand who's like he's like a massive supporter of like mental health, because I think there should be like an actual commission of mental health, like there should be a government appointed like person in charge of it, like there's someone in charge of like health or treasury and someone who needs to like make that their full-time job and really try and do something about it. But yeah, he's been great. He raises money and like supports families, and so there are people like fighting that fight, which is really, really cool. But like, it's a hard one.
Start treating it more seriously, because right now they act like it's a little side thing and it's not a real issue and it's not covered. And it's really hard to find any kind of therapist around. It's like, it's the oddest thing to me, because to me they should be available as much as like a regular doctor, or I don't know. Like, and they should have emergency places, like they have an emergency ERs, like where if someone's super suicidal or something and they can't get in somewhere, they could go to.
Yeah.
But they don't, and you definitely don't want to go to the ER if you're like that here in this country, because they're gonna fuck you up so bad and make you worse and not help you. So it's frustrating.
I was I was in the ER recently for my thing, and it's just like if you ever like got writer's block, like ERs are just the best place to go. There's like 1,000 dramas. Like, it's nothing like the movies. It's just rubbish everywhere.
Oh my
and then
God.
like there's a couple in there, and this guy just like comes up, I don't know if it was an ex-boyfriend or something, and just punched the other guy right in the face. And then like, there was this homeless guy was spitting on people. This is just in a few hours, and it was it's like nothing like the film. You know how on the films like Grey's Anatomy, it's just all pristine, and
I can't watch any there's too many medical shows. I get so mad if I see any of them now, because the last few years my health has been brutal, and like I'm like, all doctors are assholes, sociopaths. I fucking hate them all. They're pieces of shit. Like, I'm like, I won't go. I'm like, I'd rather be in brutal pain and not be able to get off the floor, throwing up blood, like having blood come out of my ass, and just wait it the fuck out and see what happens, and go to the hospital. Because like they've fucked me up so bad with medicine and biopsies, and they made me worse and almost killed me. And
really?
Just shrug. I'm like, I'm just never go. I don't care. I'm like, I'm trying all this like holistic stuff. I'm like, I hate doctors and the nurses too. I'm probably gonna I get shitted on when I say this, but like, they act like I walked into their living room, broke in, and demanded them to help me, even though I'm being so nice when I'm in pain or bleeding, gushing blood out of my mouth and nose, and they're just like such assholes. I'm just like,
really?
Fucking hate them. I've just had such bad experiences now. Like, when I see those medical shows, I'm like, they're never that nice. They never, like, if they don't find anything, they don't try. They just kick you the fuck out and say, go to your primary care doctor. Like, sorry, a little rant there. Like, those medical shows, like,
it's like, I mean, that's so bullshit. Like, it's just everyone's so like, it's interesting when I was like last in the doctors, I was overhearing them like laughing about this they're laughing about a female doctor that would just like give guys like bull exams just like by herself without like, like just And it was just like cracking up about it. Like it was like, man, she's like sexually assaulting these people. It's just crazy. Like I think that's the scariest part. Like recovery was like not too bad, but just like get just that feeling of helplessness when you get put under is excruciating. And yeah.
Did you have to have surgery?
Sorry, what's that?
Did you have to have surgery on your?
Yeah, it was just a gallbladder removal. So it was like it was like pretty minor, but it's the only time I've been put under. And
I hate that feeling though when you're right about to go under and you're fighting it. It's like so freaky and scary.
I can't even remember the guy counting down to like from 10, and I think he got to 7, and I just remember like waking up hours later. They gave me like a lollipop because they had like an ice block because like they have the tubes down your throat. You get like a sore throat. But it's pretty freaky.
It's weird.
Yeah, I mean it's way freakier than any horror movie. Like I'm way more scared of like medical stuff and
it's
like,
really weird though. It's really weird though if you wake up. Like I had to have wisdom teeth out once, and they only. I think I had some medical thing. I don't know why that they were gonna put me totally under, but then they decided not to, and so they gave me some put me under, but then like I kept waking up during the surgery, and then they kept having to put me back under. But I just saw something on TV where they said that like people were waking up in the middle of surgery, but they couldn't move their face, they couldn't talk, they couldn't move anything, and or open their eyes, so they couldn't alert the doctors, but they could feel fucking everything that was being done to them.
Wow.
So
that's
I was
worst fear.
so I was like raising my hands. I was like, because they were in my mouth and all this equipment was in my mouth. I couldn't talk, and I kept waking up, and so like I was like, so I just saw that. So I'm like raising my hands, and they were getting so mad. They're like, yes, we know. But that's weird to wake up during the surgery.
Isn't there a Stephen King's short story that like it's about someone who's getting an autopsy, but they're actually alive, but they're paralyzed, and they got bit by a spider or something, and the whole thing's from their perspective of like having people about to like cut them open, and
so creepy.
It's story is great.
Oh, that's like that would be I can't even imagine like waking up and you can't alert them and they're just cutting you.
Yeah, that's freaky. Very good movie. I mean, and this is but that's the thing.
So, have you've always lived in New Zealand? That's where you were born and raised, or?
Yeah, so I'm from like a tiny mining town. My granddad was a coal miner his whole life, and quite dirt poor little town as well. And I moved to Wellington at about the early 2000s. I actually came up with my band, we thought we were going to be rock stars. And it didn't work out, but this is just when they were making I think one of the Lord of the Rings films, so it was film was sort of everyone wanted to make films because Peter Jackson was making them. So my first job out of high school was at a TV station as well. I've basically been doing this since I was 17.
But it worked out good for you. I mean,
I think it's more tenacity than any sort of talent or anything. It's just I've just been doing it so long, it's something had to happen eventually.
Just not giving up. Just keep.
Yeah, I just don't know how to do anything else. I had real job. I did after I worked in the TV station, I did do some quote unquote real jobs, and I was working in a salmon factory and pruning trees and picking apples and stuff like that. And that's sort of I can't do that sort of thing. I gutted fish for a year. It was just crazy. I was a vegetarian as well, so it's just I just some days I'd just be cutting open these salmon and their guts are coming out. I'd just be dry retching.
That's like me. Like I was vegan and I was working at this restaurant, so it was mostly meat, and I was just like, fuck my life. Like,
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I can't, because I was a vegetarian when I was like 6, and then so when I was really young, and this is in like my dad was a hunter, and it was, you know, it was like big controversial, you know, it's really controversial, but then I started eating meat when I was a teenager again, and then became a vegetarian again when I was in my 20s. But I don't know about you, but now I used to like the smell of like, you know, cooking meat, and now it actually makes me sick. Like the smell of like cooking or meat cooking makes me really ill. Yeah. I was in LA and it was like, it was just all vegan, and like you would have struggled to find meat, I think. Like, and like they've got like, I tried those, like, is it Beyond Burger? You know, there's like Beyond Meat, and there's like the other one. I tried them and it was like, you know, it was cool, but it was like, wait, I still don't like meat. Why do I want my burgers to taste like meat? Like, because I don't like meat.
Exactly, that's my problem too. Because they do that with, like, I guess, like chicken nuggets and all this other stuff. But I'm like, I don't want that taste. So, and like the fake cheese, and I'm not into cheese. I don't like cheese, and I don't really understand people who do.
There's something in New Zealand like corn with a K, like corn. It's like this baked chicken stuff, and I don't know. Like I like tofu and stuff like that. I don't know. I just
what's that other stuff? The Indian one, like tempura. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
I like that. I have to be careful because of I have some like heart shit going on right now. So tofu can have a lot of fat, and so I have to be very extra when I do that right now. But I used to live off of tofu and broccoli. I'd like make it myself. A little vegan hot sauce, sriracha sauce. Well, not really hot. I can't do that anymore because my health problems is like, fuck. I don't like LA. Like LA has like I used to live there. I don't anymore. But like when I lived there, it was limited. But now there's like all these vegan fast food restaurants. And I'm like, that kind of sort of defeats the purpose of like why I'm vegan. Like I try to be healthy, you know, not like have fried fake meat and bad fake cheese on thick bread, white bread. What the fuck? That's like great. It's not animals, but it's still not good for you.
No, I mean that's the thing is I've heard that stuff isn't really that great deal, and I don't know. It's it was kind of a cool novelty, and like I've got to say the food in America is amazing. Like you guys do food so well.
Really?
I would be obese in America, like just from, and it's just like massive portions as well. I just can't believe.
So it's so weird.
Really cheap in America.
Yeah, it's weird because like where I grew up, I was born in Boston and grew up in, you know, there, and then when I was older I moved out to California and was out there for a while. But like in Boston, like in the area I grew up in, there was not much fast food at all, and like in the grocery store it was small and the stuff was limited. I came like out like when I went to LA I was shocked by the variety of stuff, and then even here where I am now I'm kind of shocked by the variety of stuff. Like, I didn't know there's, like, 20 different kinds of Mountain Dew. Like, I don't drink soda. I hate soda. But, like, I was like, holy fuck, and there's 10 different varieties of, like, a certain kind of junk cereal that is just insane.
Your guys, the cereal in America is just, like, that's our dessert. Like, it's like marshmallows and chocolate, and you're
exactly.
Like, what?
I know, right? And then, like, a lot of the stuff, like, that's in the cereals, and a lot of the cereals that are marketed towards kids have ingredients in it that are banned, like in Europe and in Canada. But they have it in the cereal for kids in America. Yay! Like, what the
It's just insane, man. And just like 100 different types of like Reese's Pieces and Reese's chocolate when I go into like a convenience store. And
that's what I don't get either. Like, I hate, like, I'm not big into chocolate, but like I just, they have like a million different varieties of like Reese's Cups or whatever. I'm just like, if people are into that, how the fuck do they decide which one? I'd be like standing there forever.
It's crazy. I love it. I've got to say, I was brought up in like American TV and movies, so like I've always sort of, have this. I love America. I love it's just it always blows me away when I go there, and like I take photos of like fire hydrants and stuff because they remind me of the movies, and I'm just such a small town hick. But
when's the last time you were in LA?
Just before the lockdown, like I think end of was it 2019? That was ages ago now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, I went with some friends. I went to the Melvins show, and I in the mosh pit, I snapped my I got a tear at my calf muscle, and had to limp back to New Zealand. So I didn't want to go to a hospital in America, so I just limped all through the airport through LAX, and but yeah, how did you find LA?
How did I what?
Oh, how did you enjoy living in Los Angeles?
It's so weird. When I first went to California, I went to San Francisco, and I went there to go to school, and I was there for the majority of the time, and then I kept trying to move to LA, and it just didn't take. I was there for a year, it didn't work out. Went back to San Francisco, and that kept going on and on. Then I finally was there I thought more permanently, but then LA is just so fucking expensive, and I just had some bad experiences where it's big name people you get this part, but you have to do this, and I'm just not the type of person. You could offer me whatever, and I can't do it. And then I was even homeless, and I was thinking about that. I'm like, maybe I should have just sucked it. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm just not that kind of person. I can't. So I've had too many bad experiences. So, and then when I was there, they just wanted a certain type of look, and I'm different, and so that was just a pain in the ass. And I wanted to, I like weird, obscure parts. Whether it's the drug person or the killer or have you seen River's Edge? River's Edge with Crispin Glover. Well, Crispin Glover, his character in River's Edge, I think a woman could have played that part, and it's just edgy and weird, and that's the kind of thing I like, dirty, gritty, weird shit. And I'm so if I'm going for that shit, who cares what I look like? I'm not going for the pretty girl love interest, so who cares? I don't have a tan. I don't have the long hair, and I'm it's just I was fuck this. It's getting a little different now, but it's I'm just working on. I'm writing stuff. I'm trying to get some people together to just shoot something because and just put it out there. Lloyd told me that if I shoot something, he'll put it out. Trauma will put it out. He'll help me with it, so I just trying to work on that because I'm just gonna do something. I'm again, some weird shit. It's gonna be weird because I like weird.
Yeah, do it. The great thing is these days a lot of cool stuff's happening outside of Hollywood and LA, and that'd be amazing.
It's good that you don't really have to be there, and it's kind of really not worth living there unless you have to live there. I don't know. It's weird looking back because I thought I liked it, and then having some time away from it, I'm just I don't think I actually really did like it. It was too much of a fucking struggle. I have a better quality of life here, and you don't exactly have to be out there to do this kind of stuff anymore. With social media and everything's advanced so fucking much now. So
it's an intense place. I've only sort of visited, but I did meetings with producers and people over there, and it's there's so many people that are just stuck in that old Hollywood, sleazebag producer sort of sometimes it's just man, you're such a trope. what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you even like, it's like, hey amigo, and they do the gun fingers to you and stuff, and
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
man, you're like a bad character on someone like roasts like a producer character.
Or they're just so cliche.
That's the thing, yeah. But everyone thinks that, like, oh, Weinstein's gone, it's all perfect now. It's like,
no, it's
firstly,
not. It's the same.
everyone knew about him. Like, everyone knew about Weinstein. Even I knew about it when I was at film school in New Zealand, you know, like back in the 2000s. So it's like, if I knew about it, then Meryl Streep knew about it.
No, she did.
Like,
so did Ben Affleck, so did Matt Damon. They all knew about it, but they kept quiet because they wanted to keep working and making the big bucks. So they're just as culpable to me, and they should suffer too. I mean, they knew and they kept quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just own it, you know, like just like, yeah, I mean, shit. But like, there's so many other people like him.
Tarantino was very close with them, and Tarantino fucking knew, even though he fucking says he didn't. He obviously knew, and he looked the other way to get his movies made.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
And it goes on. It goes on all levels. It's like, it's so disgusting, and the casting couch is not. It's true. It's 100% true. I mean, I don't know for guys, but for women, it is. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's obviously a different world, and New Zealand and definitely guys, but yeah.
Yeah, and some of these people, like big name people, like producers and actors and stuff, the fucking shit they said to me, I'm like, I could be recording this. Like, are you fucking crazy? And most of them are like fucking married with kids, but it's like super sick shit, and I'm like, it's like a couple of situations I was lucky to get out of without anything happening to me, and then I started bringing my best friend who, he's pretty muscular. He used to do wrestling in high school and stuff, and I said bring him with me, and they hated that. And I'm like, well, if you hate that, then obviously your intentions aren't good, because, you should not care if he comes and sits out in the, it's like,
that's insane that you have to do that. It's that's awful.
It's like, and people getting drugged. Like, I mean, my friend I was just talking about, he worked for a production company, did a lot of like commercials and music videos and stuff. And like, I'm not gonna say who because I don't want to start trouble, but like they used to, like the producer and that used to drug people in their drinks and then like do stuff to them. And he was married with kids, but he would do stuff mostly to men. But yeah, I was like,
oh my god,
fuck. I was like, don't drink anything, even water, because it's tasteless. Like, the date rape drug or whatever. So I'm like, oh my god.
Is it? What do you think? Do you think it's like people like that are attracted to the entertainment industry, or is it just the power and the money and I don't know, like what is it about?
I know, like I think it's like the power, but a lot of these people never struggled in life, so I think they always had this kind of like power and narcissism, and I think they did. I don't know. I guess it gets them hard to like have this control over people.
I don't know how he's managed to write so much over the years. It's like,
oh, he's crazy.
It's just, I mean, yeah, in the 80s, I guess it was all the cocaine was helping him, but like, I don't know.
Everyone says, like Stephen King says cocaine. I mean, and like a lot of musicians that I've talked to. I mean, I don't know if I can say their names because I don't. I mean, some of them have kids now and that, but I think they're pretty open about it. But anyway, they even like all cocaine. I'm like, God damn it. Like, I can't do that stuff with my heart, but
no, it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, what your writing output is like. It takes me like a while. I just get distracted so easily, so like I
do too. I have like ADD. I have like anxiety, ADD, depression, all that stuff, and I get distracted. But I'm old school. Like, I write it down. I have a notebook and pen. And a lot of times I'll just write down my idea real fast, just like not worrying about grammar, punctuation, paragraphs or anything. Just write down everything I'm thinking. And then I go back and then kind of like write chunks, like, because sometimes I have like an outline of a broad view of like the story, like beginning and the end and middle sometimes, or sometimes it's the beginning and end. And then I might have a few characters in mind and I write them down, and like dialogue, and then before I like kind of put it all together, and before I like even go onto the computer. Like how do you write?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. And it's always funny because there's always like that stereotype of the drunken, depressed like writer. Like I think again, Allan Poe probably like contributed to that. But when I'm depressed, I just can't write. I can't do anything, man.
Yeah,
I'm just useless.
same.
And I just like people think, oh no, you get depressed and then you get inspired. It's like
nope.
No. No, it's like a massive mind block. I just lie on the floor. Like,
That's me.
I can even watch stuff sometimes. Sometimes I can watch like I went through a phase of watching like the Angry Video Game Nerd like and stuff like that, and like the old Simpsons episodes and lots of 80s horror, but like sometimes I can't even watch anything.
Treehouse of Horror. I love the old Treehouse of Horror. Awesome.
They were so good. But like I've sort of struggled recently, and but yeah, like I had a fever like a few months ago, and like just suddenly like I couldn't sleep. I was like sweating with this fever, and I was like delirious, and then suddenly I saw this whole film like happen just in front of me, almost in real time, and I just went and wrote like the outline just straight away. But yeah, like stuff like that doesn't happen much. But it was really weird.
That's like me. Like I haven't heard anyone else say that, so that kind of makes me feel better. Because like I struggle with depression, and when I get really bad, I can't do anything. I can't concentrate. And I'm just like I lay on the floor and I fucking can't do shit. And I can't. And then and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, I'll like get this like massive, like I don't even know what to call it, and I'll just write a fuck ton. And I'll come up with like 3 different books and just like fucking, and sometimes I have trouble reading my writing afterwards, and I'm like, here, to my friend, can you make out what I wrote? It's like, it's weird. But yeah, some people say
I love that feeling though.
Yeah, it's
that inspirational when you just like suddenly and you're just really productive and you just feel like it's the characters are coming alive. I love that. Like, oh man, it's the greatest. Like, that makes it all worth it sometimes.
Yeah, like recently I just did a bunch of like the what do you call it? Like a podcast, and then like I like got like 3 books down, and I'm like after like the last year like nothing, because like it was like pretty brutal, and I'm just, it's just weird when I mean the ideas are kind of there, you know, but not, but it's just weird. It's like and like what inspires it, and a lot of times like mine happens late at night because I also can't sleep. I have like bad insomnia and cold sweats. And shake, and so I just so like some of my stuff is really like fucking weird. Like I had some people say, this isn't kids, it's too weird. And I'm like, so what if it's weird? It's okay to be different. Like, we should teach kids that.
Yeah.
It's okay to be different. Like, oh, God. No, like.
Insomnia is so bad, though. Like, with insomnia, you have to think about all that time that you could have been productive, but, like, you're trying to get to sleep. I was awake for, like, 24 hours, like, the other day, you know, just from, like, and it just, it sucks. And,
it makes you
taking
feel
melatonin, but
have you found anything that helps, like, medicine-wise?
I found these YouTube videos that have, like, delta waves and, like, different frequencies. They help sometimes, like, they sort of, like, meditation type. Or, like, I actually discovered it when we're trying to get our son to sleep. Like, the sound of rain or the sound of, like, stuff like that works sometimes, but I was taking melatonin, but it's a prescription-only drug here, whereas in America you can just get it like
at
a health
store.
Place.
Yeah.
That sort of works sometimes, but
that made me crazy. I tried that, and that made me feel like I was losing my mind. It was weird. I had a bad reaction.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's pharmacy only here. But I mean, it didn't really do. It sort of helped. I think it helped me, but I didn't like feel like I did get a feeling from it. Like some drugs, like like I used to take like Zopiclone. This really like it's like a mallet like to the head for like sleeping. You just like you take it and you're gonna sleep, but you wake up feeling like shit. Like you feel wrecked afterwards, like hungover.
So what's the point?
So exactly, yeah.
I feel like shit. I've tried like everything.
Yeah.
Like they have 10 LPM, Advil PM. I've tried all of the over-counter sleep stuff, and I've taken enough to put a 500-pound man out, and it would make me chill. It'll chill me out.
Yeah.
I fucking can't go to sleep. I've had times with months where I really, like, no one believes me, but I do not sleep. So my memory is like fucked. Like, and people are just like, they don't believe me because like you have to go to work and like all that crap, and it's like it's hard to function. It's hard to like, because I have to like eat a certain way and I get a certain amount of exercise to sort of kind of maintain my depression and anxiety, so I don't like go jump off a building or something. But and so it's hard to do when you don't sleep. But like, yeah, it's weird. Like I feel like I got used to not sleeping, and I can kind of function fairly okay.
Yeah. I think when I saw Fight Club and that character, that's the first time I've seen a character that I was like, man, that's what it's like. The fact that you described it.
I fucking love that movie.
You're never, always in between
Norton,
the world of like making a witness. Yeah. Edward Norton,
I love him. He
just goes insane from it.
I wish there was another one. I really fucking love that movie.
I think they've also, I think he did like some follow-ups in the comic book form. They were pretty fun, but yeah, I'd love another movie. That would have been fantastic.
Did you ever see the second one of Train Spotting that came out not too long ago? Part 2?
Yeah, I did.
What did you think
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it's like Trainspotting's such a classic, so I don't think it was ever going to be like as good. But it was.
You never topped the original, but.
Yeah. I liked that it was like it was like middle aged, and instead of being a junkie, he was on a treadmill, and it was pretty funny.
I actually really, really, really liked it. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Like I was really sick. Like they never figured out what it was. Like I could barely walk. I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't bend. And I remember I was at Barnes & Noble a little bit before that, and it was on sale, and I just like bought it because I like to have the physical like books and DVDs, and I don't like so much download stuff unless I have to. But so I watched it, and I remember it was like it distracted me from the brutal pain I was in. But I was like so surprised. I wasn't expecting to like it. I heard a lot of talk about it, and everyone was shitting on it, but I really, really, really liked it. Like,
yeah, no, I thought it was really cool. I mean, like, Danny Boyle's fantastic. He's one of my favorite directors. Just, I mean, it's crazy how he can make really energetic, like, fast-paced films and then just make Oscar-winning films. I don't know. He's got a style that is. I'm so glad that he's found mainstream success because he's also like got this. Just really inventive film work. I've always been into directors like him and Guy Ritchie and Sam Raimi, who really have fun with the camera. And they just have fun with the camera, have fun with editing. So yeah.
I was like braced for like another scene. Like in the first one, I still remember it scarred me. Like the bathroom scene with the shit and the toilet scene.
Yeah.
I was bracing. And I was like, he's gonna do something like that again. But like that still think that was like awesome. That made me like I don't know. I think I threw up. I know I was like gagging. Like I still like that movie. The fucking movie is awesome.
Yeah, I've always any sort of poop stuff in films. I've always been like, that's my. I can watch gore. I can watch any, and then for some reason I had a baby, and then it's just like they're just poop machines, and like like 4 a.m, like my baby like projectile shat like a meter from the change table all over me and like all over like the door, and it's just like, oh my god, it's just like you're so tired, it's just like. I'm just going to walk out and go for some cigarettes and just never come back. But, whenever I see...
Yeah, I used to have a stronger, like, I don't know, stomach or something, but, like, now, like, I don't know, especially the poop stuff really makes me want to throw up. It's weird.
I'm the same. I mean, we used to watch, like, all those Mondo movies and, like, The Killing of America and Faces of Death and stuff when we were kids. Like, we'd rent out, like, all those shockumentaries and just watch them, and just stuff like, you know, like Cannibal Holocaust and was it one like, there was like one of like Japanese prisoners of war. Oh my God, it was horrible. I can't remember the name of it now. Oh, Men Behind the Sun, I think.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, just so. That one was an actual like a drama. It wasn't real, but it just looks like a documentary. It just looks so real, and I couldn't watch any of that stuff now.
Are you into like old cartoons like Scooby-Doo and like the Flintstones or Huckleberry? All the old Hanna-Barbera stuff, like I fucking love.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because Scooby-Doo's still going. Like, they keep remaking it. It just looks so weird now. I watched some of it, like, and I was in a department store, and it's like, what is this?
No,
like,
I know. I like the old 2D. I mean, hardly anyone nowadays does the 3D for cartoons well. Like Toy Story did, Shrek did, but, like, it's very rarely done well, and it makes me want to throw up, and it pisses me off. Like, there was a new Scooby-Doo recently, and I got excited because they brought in some of the old characters, like Muttley and Dynamite, and Muttley and Dynamite, and I was like, oh my god. But I looked at it, and I'm like, oh, God. But I got it on DVD because that was the only way I could see it here. But, and it's so bad. Like, the 3D is so fucking bad. I was like, getting so mad and like talking to my computer, and I'm like, and because I got all the toys because they put all the toys out there. Marketing campaign was amazing, and like I bought all the fucking toys, which were done very well and looked like they're original, and and so I had them all out. I'm like such a dork, and I was getting like so fucking mad. It was like. Yeah. I was so grateful there was a new one out, and there were some cool toys, but the look of it was like, it was killing me. I'm like, can you go back to like 2D? Please. 2D is awesome. All the old 2D stuff.
Yeah, that was so great. I mean, cartoons, I mean, like, all that stuff, like the Wacky Races, and I want to catch the pigeon, and that Hanna-Barbera stuff was the best, and the Looney Tunes as well, and,
Oh, damn. Did you ever get into He-Man?
Yeah, I think, I don't know if I was more into the figures. I was really into the figures, like.
Well, they put out the toys first, right?
Yeah.
And then they made the cartoons because the toys did well.
That's the way to do it. It's like some horror movies. They used to like do the poster first and then like make a movie around the poster, like the canon films.
That's so funny.
But He-Man was great.
They did a remake of the She-Ra one, which I didn't like for Netflix, but they just released tonight a new one yet again of He-Man that Kevin Smith wrote. So I'm kind of.
Really?
I saw a clip and it looked kind of decent, and it was actually funny. So I'm gonna check. I got to check that out. I'm fingers crossed on my coconut. Good.
I'm gonna say it was never my favorite. I loved, especially the guy who played Skeletor. Like really, it was like really camp and really fun. But they were my favorite. It was my favorite cartoon, but like I did enjoy it. But
I liked some of the She-Ra characters because they were funny.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy named Bo, and he had a little owl dude. I forget his cowl that was always with him, and then she had some. One on her cartoon, the She-Ra one that was like sing Marmista. I remember. This is like some weird ass characters.
Yeah.
I hated it when I was a kid because like I remember the Care Bears were on and He-Man were on at the same time Saturday morning. We only had one TV, and my brother was my mom's like favorite, so he always got to watch fucking He-Man and then She-Ra, and I never got to watch the Care Bears. And so I hated He-Man. Like, it is so loud. Like, I hate He-Man, like, when he raises the sword and that. So, like, I fucking hated it for the longest time, and then I got into it, like, a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like Orko. I like Orko. Like, animals, like Panther and Grinder and all the animals.
Well, I love how all those ladies happen. Yeah. They're all about transformation. Like the Thundercats and like Transformers, it's all about being something and then becoming something else. It's sort of really weird. everyone had like secret identities, or they were really like trucks that transformed into robots, or it was a big thing back then. Yeah.
Do you remember the Snorks or the Snorkels?
Oh, the Smurfs. They were like Smurfs, but like under the sea.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't remember that. Was that Hanna Barbera? Or
I don't know. I think it might have been. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. Sometimes I go on like YouTube and go on these old cartoon binges, and even just watching the intros, just the songs at the start, it's like really like yeah.
It usually lifts my mood a little bit sometimes. To like make my brain feel like it's weird, like does something.
Yeah.
Especially like, and then I'll get the song stuck in my head, especially the freaking Smurf song. That'll like just be in my head forever.
Yeah.
Oh, that they destroyed. The new movies they did of that, like the live action one with the CG. Oh my god. Like that shit is horrible.
Yeah. Was that the Smurfs? No.
Yeah, I don't remember the names of it, but they did live action movies with the Smurfs, and then they had CG.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but I saw like clips of it. I was just like, no, why? They did it with Garfield, I think, too, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And just like stop
and I think it was like that Yogi Bear as well. I think that filmed in New Zealand. One of my friends worked on Yogi Bear here, so.
I love Yogi Bear. And Boo Boo, their holiday episodes. I remember they had a Christmas one, and I think it was the Easter one that I used to love. I have it somewhere on DVD. It's like hard to like find, but I love all the old stuff. And the Pac-Man. Did you ever see the Pac-Man cartoon or the Pac-Man Christmas episode?
I remember the Christmas episode really clearly. Yeah.
The person goes jump Santa Claus. They jump Santa Claus and beat Santa Claus off. Like they wouldn't make that nowadays.
I thought that was weird. Yeah.
I was like, I love that one. Cause like now, like they're too like, I don't know. I almost feel like the cartoons and all the specials are too. They want to be too like, I don't want to be politically correct, but like you can't do anything like that. You can't have like or anything.
Yeah, and now I'm trying to find stuff for my kid to watch, and it's like, you know, I mean, and there is some cool stuff, but yeah, I don't know. You sort of like, you really want to watch what they sort of take in and what you know. It's it's weird. I just want to show him like stuff that I grew up on as well, but then I'm like, well, that's just, you know, he needs to like find his own path and find his own entertainment, and yeah.
Well, I'm curious. So, like, over there, what would you? I mean, I don't know if you're into candy or candy bars, but like, what is your favorite? Like, if you have one candy bars over in New Zealand, and do you have a favorite one over here?
I think the Reese's Pieces were like, because I think they sort of came into New Zealand like quite recently, but I mean they're amazing. But I think over here we get like a lot of the English, like the British like food, because we're like a British colony, so we had like stuff like Morrows and like Cadbury brand stuff.
And you have the UK version, so you don't have all the up chemicals that our versions have in it.
Probably, yeah. Maybe not back then, but these days probably. Like, and like, because like Nestle as well bring out a lot of them, and like, and they're horrible. They're the ones that like cut down like the palm forest and kill all the orangutans.
Yeah. Like,
bastards. But
it's weird because there was a store in LA that sold a lot of the UK like candy. And if you compared, they also had like the American candy. And if you compared, like you took two of the same, like whatever, if they're Mars bars or fucking, I don't know, Kit Kats, if you compared them and looked at the back, the American ones have way more ingredients and like a whole bunch of like fake stuff and stuff you don't even know what the hell it is. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's so sweet. Like I was in Korea and I had like a ice cream and it was like wasn't even like really that sweet, and that's when I realized that stuff in the Western world is just like the amount of sugar that just blows your taste buds away. You know, it's designed to get people addicted, and
Yeah, they put salt, and also salt, like over here, like there's salt and sugar and everything. It was like even salt and stuff that you would even never guess that there would be salt in. It's like, what? Because they want everyone sick. Going to the doctors, getting on the prescription pills so the government makes heaps of fucking money.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to go away from like I'm trying to cut down on sugar, like because I used to have a real sweet tooth. I'd just eat like a massive, like one of those, you know, the family king size bars of chocolate they call them over here. Like I'd eat one of those by myself in one sitting. And whereas my wife, like she like chocolate goes moldy because she doesn't eat it. That's how slowly she eats chocolate. Like it goes moldy. I'm like,
I don't.
It's not meant to happen, man. I can't do that.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't really like chocolate. And then my mom loves chocolate. She's a chocoholic. We're totally opposites. Like vegan, didn't like chocolate. I hate chocolate. She's a meat person. She loves chocolate. She couldn't bring it home because she'd suck it down. Like even if she wasn't full, she's lucky she was like thin and it didn't matter. But like, I mean, like she was insane. It was like crack. It was like hardcore drugs, and like she would get like insane. Like if my dad tried to take it away from her, my brother, or she's like, I remember her like, yeah, I probably shouldn't. Yeah, she's just like, it's insane. I didn't get that, luckily, but I mean, it is kind of a drug. I mean, I guess.
I think it is. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know, like and yeah, it has an effect on people, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sort of trying to cut down on my vices. I was like went sober for like a while this year, and then went back to it, unfortunately. But yeah, cut down drinking a lot. Yeah, it's hard. Especially the pandemic was hard.
Yeah, it was like I'm not. Like, I never was, like, much of a drinker, and then I started to try to drink a little, but then, like, my health issues, and, like, I can't really drink, and if I drink, like, I get this crazy fucked up, I don't even know how to explain it, because saying it's a rash is, like, an understatement, and then, but that's, like, okay, whatever, but the pain, the, like, insane fucking pain I guess I'm drinking is, like, not even like worth it. Like even if I just have like a couple sips of something, just tiny sips, it's like fucking insane. But like that's all anyone does here. It's just bourbon country, and there's all these breweries, and I mean no one believes me because like on my Instagram is like fucking it's all alcohol, so much alcohol. But like when I hang out with friends, they like, I mean that's all they do, that they're drinking, and I bring like I can't really drink, but there's like toys and alcohol over my whole page, and I'm like, I like go out with people, and I'm like, you know, like new people, and I'm like, yeah, I can't really drink, and I'm like, fucking liar.
Yeah, no, people act really different. Like it's same with the culture towards drinking so weird. Like I gave up. I was yeah. I mean I went to rehab when I was like 20 or something. Like I was just I was a wreck. But like I gave up drinking for ages, and then like you tell people that you weren't drinking, and they just look at you like you're an alien. Like well, you got to drink, right? Like it's one of those things. It's like there's so much pressure socially.
Yeah, it's insane. They won't take no for an answer, and they act like I don't know, like you're ruining their good time or offending them somehow if you don't drink. And they want you to drink and get drunk, not just even slowly drink one.
Yeah. I mean, on the film festival circuit, when because I traveled with Deathgasm a lot, like, and went all over the world to present the film in like you know, the UK and Mexico and the United States and Korea, like everywhere. It was just like one big just like. It was just like one big pub crawl, like just going from festivals, because all the filmmakers do at the festivals is just drink and drink, you know, like, yeah, and it was fun, but at the same time, like when I got back to New Zealand, I was just, Oh man, it's just too much.
I can't, like, it's weird, like, because a lot of my relatives can drink and they drink a fuck ton. I would classify them as having a problem even though they don't think they have one. But, like, I can't, like, hold my liquor well, like, just a tiny bit, and, like, I have trouble walking, and I'm, like, all, like, giggly and, like, I can't really speak well. Like, it's weird. It's very strange.
It's one of the worst drugs, honestly. I think I think it's terrible. But at the same time, it's like, there's just so many people are having a hard time. It's like, if it helps people a little bit, But,
it's a good, like, escape. Like, anything that, like, relaxes you, takes away your anxiety or depression or stress, and, like, makes you, like, because it makes me less self-aware, because I'm like, like, fucking mental. So, like, it makes me feel more relaxed and more happy and, like, not so in my head. But then when I like, it wears off, the crash sometimes can be fucking brutal, where, like, almost like suicidal, like the crash. So I have to be, like, really careful, because, like, my crashes when I, like, if I get a little buzzed, or, like, I never get shit-faced drunk, but, like, the crash can be, like, fucking so bad. Do you have that where, like, when you come down from drinking?
A little bit, like, especially getting older, it's terrible. But, like, I sort of hate it. I hate how prevalent it is in society, and that pressure to drink. But at the same time, I'm like, I sort of think they should legalize, a lot of different things. Just because, and it's one of those things that, like, it's just my sort of view on drugs and everything. It's like, treat people that aren't good with it and have addiction, but then, like, it's crazy because, like, pot is still illegal in New Zealand, and, like, we're like a crazy, like, a really liberal country in a lot of ways, but for some reason, like, they won't legalize pot. And then I go to LA, and, like, I went to this gig and just everyone just smoking it, like, in the smoking section. It's just,
it's not legal. It's like, it's state by state here. It's illegal where I live, but it's legal, like, in Massachusetts now, where I'm from, and then in LA, and it's state by state. It's so annoying. It should just be legalized everywhere.
So you can get on a plane, I guess, and, like, buy some in LA, and then just, like, but if you flew to, like, another state, like, back in California, if you went to another state, you'd be, like, busted, right? I mean,
yeah. So if you can't get on the plane. If you get on the plane with it, like, say in California, and you fly to where I live, it's illegal here, so you could get arrested. So it's fucking crazy. It's stupid. It's really stupid, but because, like, it does help with pain and, like,
exactly.
It helps with, like, it's not good for everybody, but, like, okay, so, like, alcohol, I feel like that's just as so-called problematic, maybe even more than pot, but that's available. It's slightly regulated. You're supposed to be a certain age, but just do that with pot then. Like, you have to be a certain age and, whatever, but it should be legal. It's no more, like, so-called, like, I don't know what word to use, dangerous or bad, but, like, fucking alcohol. Actually, it's better. It has health benefits.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy here. There were, like, toddlers that were having, like, 100 seizures a day, like, from epilepsy, and they couldn't get, like, there was, like, a CBD product that would have that is proven to, like, help kids in this situation, like, cut down to, like, a few seizures a day.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to bring it into New Zealand. Like, the family had to go over to America to get it because, like, even though there was, like, there was no THC in it, they couldn't even get high, but because it originates from cannabis,
Unfortunately, that's so shitty because, like, here, it's so fucked. All right, so, like, pot's illegal here, THC is illegal here, but now I can get CBD oil here, which only kind of helps tiny bit. Like, it takes the edge off my pain, and it helps a teeny bit with my anxiety, but, like, the real stuff would help me more. But if I just drive 2 hours into Tennessee, or, like, an hour and a half into Cincinnati, you can't even have CBD lotion. So, like, I have CBD lotion for pain. If I take that, like, I've gone to Cincinnati a few times. If I have that in my bag, which I accidentally did when I went to Tennessee once because I didn't know it was illegal there, I'm like, fucking lotion. You can't, like, they arrested an elderly lady in Florida for having CBD lotion for her arthritis that she rubbed on her hands. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And then, like, it's state by state, so it's so fucking confusing. It's like, that bothers me. I'm like, I always get so enraged. I'm like, you can't get high off of CBD lotion or CBD oil.
No. Well, that's the
it's
thing.
A health
it's just
benefit.
like, yeah.
But
it's
then,
just amazing. And, yeah.
I think that, also, though, until the government can figure out how to make money off of it, because right now they make money off the pharmaceutical company, and if you give us this, like, a lot of people can get off a lot of medicine, and if they're doing, like, certain oils, you know, they don't need some of the prescription medicine, and, like, I think, you know, then the government loses money.
I mean, those guys are like the new regulars, right? You know, the opioid crisis, and then you've got, like, you know, like Xanax and stuff, and it's all prescription stuff, right?
Yeah, no, like, a lot of the prescription, like, stuff for pain medicine, it's fucking horrible. Like, my doctor gave me a prescription for pain medicine after the ER not too long ago. It was past year, and he told me just to take, like, half of it because he fucked me up with this other medicine before, just from one fucking pill. I took half of it. Like, I almost had my fucking heart almost gave out. It was the worst, brutal fucking pain ever from just a half of a prescription pain medicine. I can't remember the name of it, because then it gave me oxycodone, which I hate. That's the worst. It doesn't even help with the pain that makes you sick, and it made me my depression, like, crazy worse than just one pill. But yeah, just this half a pill fucked me up so bad, and it's like, I could have just had the oil. And the oil's natural. Unlike the fucking pills that they push on you, you know? Like, so frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. America's so fucking, like, sometimes it feels so backwards. Like, it feels so way conservative, and, like this whole religion, fake hypocrites bullshit. It's kind of embarrassing. It's like, we're not all, like, stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, but it's so, I don't know, it's sort of, I think that growing up with it as a kid, like, it's such an iconic place, you know, but it is sort of backwards. I remember, like, when I got my first check from writing from, like, a American company, they sent the check over, like, they sent a paper check over. I was like, well, just put the money in the bank, right? Just transfer it like, into banking. But they sent, like, a physical check to New Zealand. It took, like, 2 months. And then my bank wouldn't accept it, so they had to send it back to America. And then back again. I'm like, just put money in my bank. Like, I don't know why you guys still, I don't know if it's, like, you still use checks over there, but.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
They still do. And the most, like, if you rent, most places want a paper check. They won't let you just pay from, like, send it from your bank account, like, zoop, just do it online or something like that. You have to give a paper check. So,
it's so crazy. Yeah, we haven't used those in New Zealand since the 80s. Like,
I know.
We had like, yeah.
It's crazy. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, it's frustrating, and it seems like it's going freaking backwards, which is extra frustrating. I just wish they could shut up, like, about religion and, like, really keep that separate from politics, instead of using it to manipulate people who are fucking too ignorant to realize they're being manipulated just to vote a certain way. And it's just like, oh God.
I just think ban religion. I just can't stand any of it. I mean, I appreciate that people should be able to have beliefs and respect that, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh man, it just does. Historically, it's just done so much evil for the world, you know, like the Spanish Inquisition, the witch hunts, and the Holy Wars. And,
Holocaust, the Holocaust.
Just stop, like.
yeah, I mean, no, I don't care. Like, it's like I don't care, but like, I mean, I'm all for it. Do whatever you want. There's thousands of different religions, thousands of different gods, and do what you want. But like, when you start using that to control people, manipulate people, make laws, and like you talking my ear off, and you don't shut up about it, that's when I have a problem. It's like, just I don't want to hear about it. You know, like do what you want. Everybody should be free to like practice whatever they want, but like like shut up.
I mean, for me, it's been like, for me, that's what horror and heavy metal have been like my religion, or you know, it's like my, you know, I don't really have any sort of like connection to my, you know, ancestors or anything like that. Or for me, it's just I just come to these subcultures, and so it's
extra bad now, like because of where I live, and which is why I'm still in shock about it, because like I grew up, like I was born on the East Coast, like Boston, grew up there, and then I went to the West Coast, lived a long time there, so I'm like, East Coast and West Coast is a totally different world from the rest of America. Like the middle of the country and then the South is like a totally different country, and it's like quite shocking. And now that and then when I first moved here, I'm just like, oh my God. But it wasn't that as bad. But then like the last 4 or 5 years is like it's just shocking. I'm like, is this like am I crazy, or did I go back in time, or like it's weird. It is. Have you been like anywhere besides
I've only
LA?
been to no, I've only been to LA and Austin, Texas, and both places I love, but I didn't spend, you know, in LA was just like a theme park, like it was like sometimes like a horror theme park, but you know, I had a great time, and it was just you know, and then like I just went on the street, I just get like chased by a crackhead just in broad daylight, you know, so it was just like, you know, but it was.
Did you go?
Yeah, I don't know if I could live there, but like I had fun visiting, you know.
What did you say? Like, were you in like downtown LA or like?
I sort of Airbnb'd all over the place, so I'd stayed in like Koreatown and downtown LA. No, I didn't actually stay in downtown, although I went there a few times, and there's actually a few film places, like a few production offices in downtown now, which is kind of crazy. Like, so I met a few people for lunch there.
They're starting to try to like make it better. Like when I was there, it was pretty bad, but they're starting to clean it up. I think they even put like a freaking Whole Foods down there, and there's some nice like condos. Are trying to like clean it up, but like when I was there, it was kind of sketchy.
The homeless thing is, I mean, like I was staying in Venice Beach for a while, and like I Ubered from there to like to Beverly Hills. Is it Beverly Hills? Yeah, to the where all the production offices are, like Wilshire Boulevard, is it?
Oh, okay, and,
yeah, like so, like got my Uber, and then like I would be driving past the streets, like dozens of people literally sleeping in gutters.
Yeah,
and then like get to like Beverly Hills, and it's just like $1,000 T-shirts in the shop windows, you know. Like I've never been anywhere where there's been that like difference between the poor and the rich so close together.
Yeah, it's kind of nauseating. Did you see? They have this little I don't know what to call it. It's only like 3 or 4 episodes. It's a documentary about the Cecil Hotel in downtown LA, and it just and it talks about like, you know, that big homeless area, their butts right up against it, and it was a hotel, and some people stayed there long term, some didn't. Then people from other countries would come, they didn't know how bad it was, and some notorious serial killers during their time actually lived there. It's it's on Netflix. I mean, it's pretty interesting.
Was that the is it Isla Lamb, that woman that like saw she was found in the water tank?
Yes.
That hotel?
Yeah. Yeah, she was
and she like there's that video over in the elevator like talking to like, and it's really freaky because it's like they're like, oh, was she schizophrenic? You know, maybe, but then it just like it looks like she's talking to someone off screen, and then the elevator keeps
the
opening,
elevator.
like someone
Yeah. You know what they did?
So terrifying.
Yeah, they think that because she struggled, her family said she struggled with some mental health issues and she stopped taking her medicine because she come to this, all right. But I don't know, really watching it, I really do think there was someone out there. It just, I don't know. And I don't know, I have a hard time believing she was a tiny lady. Like, she climbed, like, up this ladder and, like, and then like, you have to climb up another ladder to the water tank, unlock it, lift it. I don't know.
That is so suspicious.
She's so tiny.
I mean,
I don't know if she had the strength for that. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I believe it.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I've had paranormal experiences, like shooting both of my films, and so I don't know. Like, I grew up with mysteries, like UFOs, and I was really into mystery books when I was a kid. But so, I'm pretty I'm pretty down to earth, and I'm not religious or anything. But there's some stuff that we can't explain, I think, and I love the idea of ghosts, at least. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. But when we were shooting Guns Akimbo, we were location scouting, and there was this room where I saw someone walk past the window. This is at night, and everyone was accounted for, and there was no. I looked and who? I thought it was the location manager, but then she was behind me, and I was like, "Who's in that room?" And then no one. I went and checked, and no one was in this room, and it's afterwards, because it was an abandoned mental asylum. Afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that place is haunted as fuck." I'm like, why didn't someone tell me beforehand? But yeah, it's like a really common location for shooting in Auckland. This abandoned mental asylum, but it's I would not sleep overnight by myself there.
Yes, I've experienced some weird stuff that made me think there's something else. Have you seen the old show? Did you see the old show Unsolved Mysteries?
Yes.
In the 90s. Well, they remade it, but they don't have a cool host, which kind of sucks. But it's still it's interesting.
Was it William Shatner now? Was he the new one? No.
I can't remember. The newest one is probably at least a year old now, at least.
Right.
But they had an episode about UFOs that took place in Massachusetts. That's really interesting. So,
Oh wow.
And then everybody, they got made fun of, these people, and they got bullied, and some of them had to leave that town and never go back because no one believed them. No one believed in UFOs. And just this past year, the government comes out and is like, I love anything any kind of documentaries, and especially anything with history, but UFOs that aren't too.
Oh man, I watch just the trashiest UFO documentaries, and I love it. There's ones Third Reich UFOs, and was Hitler an alien? It's the wackiest shit. But it's just, I don't know. I know it's all bullshit, but there's something really just fun about it. It's entertaining, and I don't know. There was a UFO that passed over New Zealand the year I was born, and
maybe you're related.
I was convinced. I used to tell people that I was an alien, and my real parents were aliens that lived in here, and I was convinced I was an alien for ages, and I don't know. It's just one of those kid things that. I was I've got an alien film, which I did. I didn't write the original. I rewrote it though, but it's one of those things that's sort of been it's a half a sort of Tarantino road movie and half an alien film, because I just think those American crime road movies and alien films really go together. You've got so it's we've been sort of trying to get that up and running for a while, but
sounds fucking awesome.
No, it's fun. It's set in the 90s as well, and it's got a very sort of Yeah, I think it's really fun. Like it's the lead character's like on like he's this criminal on the run who's like on PCP, so he's like, you know, he's like hallucinating all the time, and he's not quite sure if it's aliens or not. And there's like a chase scene with it. He's got this muscle car, so he's trying to outrun like aliens in this muscle car. And yeah, I mean, it'll be pretty fun. So we'll see. But hopefully we're shooting the next film in Malta next month. Yeah.
So what? The one you're about to shoot, is that yours? The one something you wrote? Or?
Yeah, I didn't write it. It's a disaster movie. It's pretty fun. I think it's going to have some like we just found out about like a cast member today is like one of the like fingers crossed it all goes ahead, but yeah, like one of the best actors in the world I think just signed up for it. I'm like, shit, this is going to be, so hopefully we'll be like announcing that and yeah, that'll be fun. But it's really, it's a great concept, and it's like I think it should be it's got to be very different from Guns Akimbo and like Deathgasm, and yeah, we've been trying to get Deathgasm 2 made. We almost made it at the end of last year, but like one of the financiers backed out and it all just fell apart. So yeah, I mean, you know, like the film that I think we're shooting, we start going to pre-production next month is like, you know, it's got a healthy budget and everything, but yeah, I'm like, hopefully, like, you know, I want to like go back and do like a, you know, low budget horror again. You know, I always wish Peter Jackson would do that. Like after The Hobbit, he could go back and do like another Brain Dead or, you know, like do a crazy horror. Yeah, exactly. Like
I love The Frighteners so much, and fucking hell, what's his name? Combs, Jeffrey Combs.
Oh, like, yeah, he's so done that.
I want him to work with him again, like, I don't know, in some kind of, like, ghost horror. I always want some kind of, I don't know. I wish he'd do more of that stuff. I like, because there's not enough of it done well. It's all, like, I don't know, there's, like, a trend. It seems like there's a trend and there's, like, 3 formulas, and that's all, like, the major ones that get put out over here. It's just like, it's hard to find stuff that's different. That's why I like
I agree.
Different stuff. That reminds me, I can't remember the name of this movie. It's driving me crazy, but they showed it on Shudder on one of the Joe Bob marathons. It was an alien, like he was like an old man. He looked like an old man, and he's like in his thing because he doesn't talk, and like he takes some drugs that make him fucking go insane, and like all this crazy stuff ensues, and this is an insane movie. What's the name of it? My mind's blank. It's a really good alien movie, and that's like so fucking weird. I don't know. Anyway, it has some really gross shit in it.
Yeah. No, about that stuff. I should bail. I think. So fantastic chatting. And the distortion went away, which was really cool. It just sort of like it sort of faded away after a little while. I hope that's not on the recording, but yeah.
Dude, what? I'm sorry.
Oh, the distortion went away.
I couldn't really. I only heard a couple of times a little choppiness, but like on my end, for the most part, it was good. I feel bad for you if you had it in your ear the whole time.
No, it went away like in the first like 10 minutes of chatting, but which is really cool. It was kind of crazy at first, but hopefully it's not on the recording, but it'll be pretty interesting if it is.
Yeah.
No, it's not your fault. It's be funny.
Yeah, I didn't hear it, so that's like so odd. But yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's an alien ghost.
Pretty it's pretty rank sometimes. We had really slow internet for ages. We only had one TV channel for like like when I was a kid. It's like on the bottom of the world.
Lately here, the internet has been like not working well, and my cell phone, and I'm not the only one. Like a lot of people saying that. don't know what's going on, but everything's like choppy and in and out, and it works, it doesn't work, it works, it doesn't work, and like slower.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because a lot of people are working from home still, or like, like everyone's on the internet, like just at home. I don't know.
Yes, this is frustrating. And then like I can't the video calls and stuff with me. Like the video will like just freeze, and like be like in and out, and it's like and like I had it checked out, and everything's supposedly fine, but obviously it's like not. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's so frustrating, and like
technology.
Yeah, like for kind of work, you got to do like video calls all the time, and it's just like you never know when you're gonna suddenly, I'm not camera ready, like just trying to get a shirt on, or like trying to make sure that like there's like people all over my floor, and
you know what I did a couple of times when I had like last minute ones, and I was like sick, and I was like not ready. I like put on a Halloween mask. And I would do that, and some people rolled with it, and some people didn't even acknowledge it, and some people just couldn't handle it like at all, and they thought I was like a crazy person that was gonna go run out and kill people or something.
That's great.
When my internet was working, I don't know. But this is fun. I mean, thank you for doing it.
Yeah, no, fantastic talking to you. It's so interesting, and like, I've got to grab some of your books. They look amazing. And yeah, thanks so much for chatting to me.
No, yeah, it was like a fucking trip, and I'm like such a huge fan. So I was like, I was like, I couldn't believe you said yes. I was like, what? Like, so cool, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you. All the best, and keep in touch.
Yeah, I will. And if I am until I bug you, then you can really bugger off. But yeah, have fun over. You're going to Malta?
Yeah. So that should be strange. We don't have vaccinations yet. A lot of people in New Zealand, so I'm not vaccinated. So I don't know what the travel thing is. But like, so now I'm like kind of like. I went from being like sort of like, there's no virus in New Zealand, it doesn't really matter, to be like, I need a vaccination, like, so like get someone on black market or like,
so how,
just because I want to travel, I don't want. I don't want to stay in New Zealand forever.
So has it been hard to get like at all, or was it ever easier?
Yeah, I mean it's just like we're just yes. I mean I think a lot of countries are finding this that the bigger countries are just like hoarding all the vaccines and keeping them for their own people, and smaller countries are struggling. I mean, I think New Zealand's got it better off than like poor third world countries, but it's still there's like I think like old people are getting vaccinated here, and like there's like a list of like vulnerable people, which obviously
more
it
vulnerable
should be,
first. Wow.
But it's like I'm shooting a dumb film, so like I'm not like. Yeah, it's not like I should be bumped off the list or anything, but I don't know, like I just,
I think you guys handled it pretty well, because I think you guys opened things back up and had like lower rates and stopped.
Yeah, we only had like lockdowns for like a month.
Unlike over here, and now they're increasing like people that got the vaccine are still getting the virus, but it's just usually not as bad, and usually they don't die, but people still have died who got the shot. But so like all these in cases, so like it's also weird. Like some places you still have to wear masks, some places don't. Some places make you whether you're vaccinated or not. Some don't care. There's actually places that say you have to show your fucking card, your vaccination card, to like go in, and if you don't, you can't go in. Like crazy. God. I'm like,
I don't know. I had pneumonia at the end of last year, so like that's the first respiratory sort of disease that I've had, and it was fucking so terrible. So I at first I was like, man, I can get coronavirus. I'll be fine. I'm pretty healthy. But now I'm just like, I just don't want to get that. It sounds horrible. Like pneumonia was like.
I had a friend that died from it.
It's horrible. It used to be the best.
And then like I've also had bronchitis, pneumonia, all that shit. And then now with my heart, this new medical shit they're trying to figure out, I have trouble breathing and I have like kind of like a heart issue. So like, if I fucking get it, I'm like, fuck. I have hard time breathing as it is. So I'm just like, just like, I don't know. It's just weird right now. Like the energy too, because like all the different rules. It depends on like where you go and what state, and also what business you go into. It's like it's like very odd.
So weird. I was like one of the first people in New Zealand wearing a face mask as well, because I saw all the people on in China wearing them, and like I got yelled at, like, because the government at first said don't wear face masks, you don't need to, it doesn't matter, and I was like, no, I think I'm going to wear a face mask just because I'm just paranoid, I don't want to get sick, and like this guy yelled at me like, the government said you don't need one. I'm like, dude, it doesn't affect you if I'm wearing a mask. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then like a month later, they were like, oh no, you should wear them. It's like,
I actually I like to wear them because I have really brutal anxiety, and like it helps with that. Like if I'm going into a place, I felt more relaxed and like wasn't as self-conscious and wasn't as anxious. I'm like, let's keep the masks forever, because like I can go into places that I couldn't before because of my anxiety. So I'm like, I'll wear a mask forever.
I could brand it. It's so good. Like in Asian countries, they've been wearing them for like ages. Forever. Like if you've got a cold or flu, then you wear a mask, like out of respect for other people. And
it helps with colds and flu, like all sorts of shit. And their smog over there is like so bad. Yeah, and like I kind of liked wearing it, and it just like it helped me so much with my anxiety. Like they have outdoor breweries, and like those are open during the pandemic, but even in the winter. But so people are desperate, they would still go, and like it helped me to go and like I didn't really drink, but to go see people, see other my friends, and like having the mask made it possible for me to do it, because like my anxiety got worse during the lockdown and that, and so like I'm like put on the mask, and then I felt like I don't fucking know, like Freddy Krueger or something. I don't know. It was just like
they look badass. Right.
So yeah, I'm totally fine with wearing a mask.
Awesome. I'm gonna go, but like fantastic. Thanks so much for chatting.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, keep in touch, and hopefully I can get some more crazy films like towards people's eyeballs one day. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying at least.
But
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Groovy Ghoul podcast. Have a good night, and remember, don't go to sleep.